Welcome to Girls on Fire.
Hey guys, we are back with our last episode of the year of Girls on Fire.
24. See ya.
I almost thought you were going to say, here we come, 2024. I was like, wrong.
Honestly, I don't even know what year it is. I don't know what day it is. That's a very accurate representation if I did say that.
Yeah, no, 100%. Actually, do you remember like the beginning of this year? We were like, this is going so slow. We have the winter blues. We just felt like dead inside. And then it was like fast forward from like March to now, and it like was a blink of an eye.
It's so crazy how some things feel like yesterday and then other things feel like 4 years ago. I can't explain it. Like the month of August specifically felt like it lasted 800,000 years. But then when I think about the things I did, I'm like, wait, that was like 7 years ago. What are you talking about?
No, I feel like from August till now, it was like a jump. Like I like blinked and it was over.
I don't know what I did. I don't know what I said. I don't know what I saw. And here I
Uh,
am.
Here we are.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. And
My tree.
oh yeah, Kristen has a tree growing out of her head right now, but she looks very festive.
I got my garland, I got my tree, but I only decorated the front half, so don't look at the back half. I'm gonna move it like that. There we go.
Well, today, guys, we are just planning on, of course, we're gonna, spread some positivity and talk about our moments of joy. But then, really, our hot topic is just gonna be a recap of our year, talk about some of our guests, some of our highs, some of them be like, oh gosh, can't believe that happened moments on Girls on Fire. So, also, we're gonna talk about our words. Some of us did really well with our words this year.
Are you kidding? Are you trying to like go? Megan, some of us did okay on our words.
Yeah, we're going to talk about all of it. So if you just want a Girls on Fire special off the hinge Christmas extravaganza episode, that's exactly what you're going to get today from us.
We should have worn Santa Claus hats.
I know. We really failed. I'm wearing pink. It's like I'm ready for Valentine's Day.
I'm wearing a brown sweatset. Working from home is comfort.
Yeah, that is 100% true. And the week before Christmas is just, I feel like a blur to everybody. It's chaotic. So we're just surviving, not thriving.
Amen. Well, I have my moment of joy and I want to go first just in case we have the same one so I can beat you to it.
Okay, hit it.
So my moment of joy was last week. We had the Atlanta office up in the Nashville office for our Christmas party. And I guess we talk about, we talked about it on B-Hawks podcast, but Megan came up a day early and stayed with me, which was so much fun. We went and got the best dinner and drinks at Oku. Shout out, not sponsored, but love you guys.
Would love to be.
Yeah, send me a sushi roll. And it was just such a fun dinner. We got little hot chocolates after with a little something special spiked in them. And it was just good to have, like, again, Megan and I are friends outside of being coworkers. So it was fun to just like hang out as friends.
Yeah, that was so fun. That whole week was so fun. I actually had two because that was like one of mine as well. But like also that whole week we just did fun stuff. Like we went to another dinner to an amazing what's it called Pilato.
Gelato. Mm-hmm.
We ate a lot last week and consumed quite a few beverages, and it was just really really fun. I mean, our night we like hung out. Me and Emily hung out for a little bit, which was super fun. And then I don't know. We had our Christmas party on the trolley, which is awesome. So we had a lot of fun last week. So that definitely was a moment of joy for me too. But my other one would be my mom. She was here this weekend. It was her birthday on Friday, so I drove back early from Nashville on Friday morning, and my mom was here and her boyfriend, and we got to hang out and went to like fun Christmas bars in Atlanta, and it was just the best time. Like I feel like my mom, I don't know if anybody else, if you guys probably feel like this too with your parents, like the older you get, like I feel like you can actually be friends and they don't have to like yell at you anymore for the things you used to do. So it's just
Yeah, but
yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, my mom will still yell at me, don't get me wrong. But I mean, it's just nice to like have that kind of like friendship with your parents now. So it was cool to have one-on-one time with my mom. So that was fun.
I didn't realize y'all's birthdays, you're both December babies. Megan's birthday is in a less than a week.
Yeah, December 23rd is my birthday, so I am a Christmas baby, which if you know me at all, I freaking love Christmas, so I feel like that tracks, right?
Well, that's good because I feel like most people that I know that have birthdays around Christmas are like, oh my gosh, everyone just groups in my birthday gifts and my Christmas gifts, and I don't get enough attention on my birthday. So you're either in one camp or the other.
100%. And I think it just also depends on like what your family did when you were younger. Like my mom and dad would either have my birthday like earlier in the month where I could still have friends and there were people still in town like to have a party. So it was always special. So that'll be good. And then I'm going home next week to West Palm to be with my family. So I'm really excited about that. So that'll be fun too.
Oh, that will be fun. I'll be here staying in Franklin/Nashville for most of Christmas. Then I'm going to Mexico.
Do the margaritas, Kennedy.
Margarita arriba. Don't drink the water, drink the margarita. We told you this episode's gonna be crazy,
Psychotic, actually, but it's fun.
but it's fine. Warning. But yeah, those
No,
I moments of joy, check. Great, great week, and I cannot wait for the holidays. Like, cannot wait. It's gonna be so much fun.
yeah, I don't know what everybody else out there. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are working. A lot of you are in hospitals, so like we are giving you all the love if you're working during the holidays, because that I just you guys need all the
Power
love
to
and
you.
all the power.
All the power. And this can always be like a tough time of year too, like trying to balance everything. So just make sure you prioritize taking time for yourself, resting. It's the time where people are getting sick. I just drank an emergency. I'm like so terrified.
Wow.
I'm a hypochondriac at heart, so I'm like, emergency, liquid IV, ibuprofen.
But all the
Yeah,
things.
all the
Really.
things. So just stay happy and safe and healthy during these holiday season from the Girls on Fire.
Yeah. No. So we're gonna talk today. I guess this is our hot topic.
Hot topic.
So our hot topic is just going to be a recap of the year. I kind of wanted to start out maybe with like talking about some of our guests because we included guests this year, which was nice. We started doing it every other month, and of course we're going to incorporate that maybe even more next year, which will be awesome. You guys have really loved all the ones with the guests and getting to know, people from our company, people in the industry, which is awesome. So we can talk about that. So our first guest this year was Sydney Cree, who is the other half of the HCM Jobs dynamic duo. So that was super fun because I feel like Sydney's us, except
Yeah,
not with red hair, but she did have red hair during the episode.
I was gonna say she kicked off the special guest strong with looking like a James Bond spy model. She had the sharp red wig. It was awesome. I was like, that's what we needed to start our guests to put the bar here.
Yeah, in that episode, we talked a lot about job placements and, if you're wanting to look for a new job and ways to do that better and prepare with like resumes and what maybe employers are looking for. So I feel like that was super beneficial. So if you're in the market for a new job for 2025, I mean, I would start there with Sydney's episode because I feel like it had a ton of great information if you want to backtrack and miss that one.
Yeah, definitely. This time of year, I feel like is when people are starting to like potentially look into a new career for 2025. So watch that episode back to learn more about HCM jobs, and Sydney's your go-to gal when it comes to hiring. So great one to start with.
Yeah, and then the second guest we had on was B Hawk, so Brian Hawkins, which we were just on his podcast last week, right? He released it. So
Mhm.
H on the Line is his podcast. So we were on that. So go check that one out after you watch this. But Hawk was a little upset with us because he wasn't the first guest on our podcast, but his was excellent. And he even kind of spun the wheels on us and he went ahead and asked us a bunch of crazy questions that might have got us in trouble. So Kristen was saying we should do like a highs and uh-ohs of this year. So I'm going to say that was maybe an uh-oh.
That wasn't when I realized that I had to start turning on everyone. I'm like, well, I can't say too much because I work with these people, B Hawk. he's like, pick between Megan and Sydney. I'm like, are you kidding? Like, that's so messed up. So if you want a good laugh before the end of the year, watch that one.
Yes. And then third was Allison Wolford, she won our YP of the year for this year's first ever Tech Choice Awards that we had in 2024. And I just absolutely adore her. Since I met her at her first, I think, MD Expo, which was our Atlanta show, she came and BHawk introduced us, I believe, and she just has so much wisdom for being a young professional and the way she's moved up in her career. So if you need some motivation going into the new year, I would go listen to that one because she's done a lot of other jobs that weren't HTM related too, I believe. So that will be cool to see kind of the cycle of what she went through to find her career that she's in now.
I don't think we even spoke during that interview. We were just sitting there like
Yeah.
if you need like an actual educational one, like we obviously don't work in the hospital and we cannot fix equipment. I can barely screw in a light bulb. So having her on to speak to our audience was so amazing, and like hearing her perspective of her day to day as a young professional was like, I feel like why we started this podcast, to bring like this entire industry together, whether you're on the vendor side, sales side, or the hospital employee. So I loved that episode. I might have to go back and watch some of these.
Yeah, that was a good one. I know, and that one was like in June or July, I feel like, that we did that. So it feels like it was a year ago and it was only like 6 months ago.
I have no idea. I just don't know anymore. I, I got a big cup of coffee.
Yeah, look at Kristen's mug. I freaking love it today. Big Daddy. All
Like
right.
that is.
Moving on, we had John Creek, who is our boss, president and CEO of MD Publishing. And that was a funny one. I feel like we just literally cracked jokes the entire time. But John's was important because we talked a lot about going to networking events, putting yourself out there as a young professional or not a young professional at these and meeting people. And I feel like that is huge to be able to grow who you are as a professional. So that was super, I feel like, informational.
Yeah, I also think it's cool to see our dynamic with our boss. Like that, I think a lot of times we talk about just like how work-life balance and just like a good environment and things like that. So like watching us like joke with our boss but then be serious, it just like shows that you can also have a good time at work, and that's like a normal, healthy thing. So I think that was a big key takeaway, is like people don't get to see us interact with John a lot at the shows because we're always running around. So that was fun to just see like the inner dynamics of our company.
We have a crazy dynamic. Honestly, I feel like John is like my dad sometimes, where I can throw crazy stuff at him. I mean, I'm still respectful, but like it's just fun to be able to joke around.
With you specifically, like obviously we're all respectful, but it's so funny. Like he knows he can rally you up and he does it on purpose. And but you don't cower. You fight back. Everyone's like, and he's like, that's why I respect Megan. I'm like, makes sense.
Gosh. And then our last guest was Sherelle Sandrini from Multi Medical Systems. And we've already gushed about how much we adore her. She's been one of my clients for years, but she's one of my great friends in this industry too. And I feel like seeing that relationship, because I don't no, we did not have somebody on yet. Charles, our first one from a client vendor, a company that's an advertiser of TechNation magazine and or digital platform. But she, oh my gosh, if
Blew
you
my
if
mind.
you know, you might know some of these things about her, but there were some things that I knew but that I didn't know. And like learning about her background and how she got started in the industry. You have to go listen. That was one of my favorites.
She blew my mind. I was like, what? Like some of the her past life, I'm like, it just shows you that like this life can take you on such a whirlwind, like in your like personal life or in your professional life. Like you never know what opportunity lies ahead of you next. So just like hearing her story was so cool.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed that one. So definitely and then of course, obviously we every other month, Chris and I would just do a special Girls on Fire episode, but I really liked the guest and I think we'll keep doing that next year. So if, like, we say this every time, but if there's somebody that you want us to have on, like, please let us know, but we will definitely be doing that again.
I think how we were saying like high lows, uh-ohs of Girls on Fire, just one of my highs was the first time, I want to say it might have been Ice of this year, so February, somebody came up and talked about our episode on burnout and just like how they related to it so much. And I think we got a few texts, like Kim Rowland texted us and was like, ladies, that was the perfect timing, like feeling the same. That was one of my highs is like when people came to us in person and even over text and said something specific about what we were talking about. I'm like, wait, you guys listen? That was like a aha kind of high moment for me because I was like, wow, like we're not just speaking to each other through this camera and then sending it off. Like people are actually listening to it, taking it into account and like appreciating what we're saying.
Yeah, that's one of my highs too, is anytime anybody comes up to us at a show or like messages us or whatever the case is, and they tell us that they just listen to the podcast. Like honestly, you guys, we appreciate that so much. We did this podcast just to try to get some more content onto our TechNation TV or YouTube channel, and we did not think any of you would listen to this, okay? Because we're like I had mentioned at the beginning when we first started, we are not technically in the hospitals or medical field. Yes, of course, we like, we support all of those people with our media company and all of that, but we are not in that day to day in the hospital. So I'm never going to give you medical advice. We're never going to tell you how to fix a piece of equipment, but we do know how we are young professionals, and there's other young professionals or other people in general in this industry that are having a lot of the same issues or struggles. And like if we can just be a light to like make fun of those things and make it just a little bit more light and easier to get through, that was our goal with this. And that you guys are enjoying this, like you don't like we're shocked.
I think that's my uh-oh. It's like, uh-oh, people watch this. Like, uh-oh, like that's not good. It's great. It's not great. I'm like, uh-oh, what am I saying? I need to start like filtering myself probably more.
No, I think you had mentioned it. It's like sometimes we just feel like we're talking to each other, like because you had said we're just friends. So like the people are just actually getting a real life like interaction of how we just interact on a daily basis with each other. I'm like, it's
Welcome.
wild.
It
Yeah.
is. And so I guess we can talk about our words.
Yeah, let's talk about it. You go first.
Man.
I can go first.
Fine, I'll go first. My word was invest, and I'll leave it at that. I'm just kidding. My word was invest, and it didn't mean just like financially, like that was part of it, but it was mainly like invest in like my relationships, myself, my time. Like I feel like sometimes like we were saying, you can just blink and time goes by and you're like, okay, well, what did I do over the course of this year? Like, did I grow stronger relationships? Did I invest in like my home, like things like that? I will say this year, I feel like I did invest a lot in my personal life. Um, I've, I'm at that part where like my life is getting really busy with my friends all getting married. Now we're getting into like the babies. So there's just like a lot of moving parts where you do have to invest more time and effort into your relationships. And I feel like I have a lot of different friend groups from different phases of my life. And it's like really hard to say yes to all of it and make all of it work. But I feel like I did a really good job this year in like investing in those relationships and taking the time to see them or having people come see me. This year I also feel like I invested in my apartment. Like I love where I live. Megan got to see it. And that was like a huge step for me. Living alone, things like that. Financially, I'm still working on it.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. But you know what? Money comes, money goes. Memories
Yeah.
stay forever.
Yeah.
So overall, I feel like and my health, I mean, I feel like we always talk about working out. I will always do that as a mental health thing, but I tried some new classes that I loved, made some new friends through that, which was cool. So I guess I did okay.
No, you did. I think you invested in your happiness because your personal life, if it's not like in a good place, I feel like where like you love your home or the people you surround yourself or like you're happy with your family and stuff, I feel like that will bleed into a lot of other things that are honestly not as important, you know? Like, and I feel like if you don't take care of those and invest in those things, then you can't make moves like in your career or with like, you know, actually investing money and like things like that if you don't have those other things that are making you happy. So I think you did a great job.
Thanks, Megan. I think so too. Yeah,
Um,
I do.
my word was health, and I the past couple of years have really just been focusing on a word instead of like the resolutions because anytime I've made resolutions, I have sucked it up. I cannot stick to them, but a word I feel like is just like easy. You know, not easy, but like it's like easier to like do things like surrounding that is what I mean. So like
The lifestyle versus like l- do this and lose, like it's just like
lose 10 pounds. Like, well, now, like, I don't know. Like, that kind of stuff is just like hard. So, my word was health. And I didn't mean like just like, you know, getting physically healthy or like all of that. But I feel like this year I was in a place to just like focus on like, not only like my physical but like my mind, like just like all around like in my personal life. Like I feel like my personal life is so healthy. I feel like both of ours are, you know, right now. And so like that just makes you like even if there's some craziness going on in your career or other things in your life, I feel like if your personal life is like good, then you can like stay grounded and like make moves to make everything else better. I feel like you can deal with everything else when your personal life is good. So same kind of with you. Like I feel like I just like worked out a lot. I like focused on making sure that I was like taking time to go to the gym. Like even if I had like crazy stuff going on, like I made that like a priority because I know that will make my mind better, you know? Or like I don't even know, like not working crazy hours because like I'm a nut job and I know you are too. And like I
yeah.
will work until I am like in the ground, like trying to come up for air, you know? So like, and don't get me wrong, like we're still very hard workers, like 100%, but like it's just I just feel like I have balance, I think is the best way to put that now. This year I found balance.
This is the first year that I am not losing PTO days because I didn't take enough time off. Like this
Yeah.
is the first year that I'm like finally have hit because I'm like trying to get rid of so much of it by the end of the year because it's like there's just days where I'm like, oh well, no, like I'm not gonna take off, but sometimes you just need to. Like I feel like we did do a really good job this year of like prioritizing like a good work-life balance.
Yeah, so I just feel good about it. Now, next year, I don't know if you've thought about it, and you don't have to like say if you don't know a word yet, but I actually think I want to take your word from this year and invest.
Ah,
So not just like investing in, I mean like more like investing in my future. Like, of
mhm.
course, like, I'd like to invest some more money and like save and that sort of thing, but just like what do I see for myself next? Because I feel like I just said, I feel like very balanced right now. So I feel like I can take the next step in investing in the rest of my life. And that might mean like in my house or like, you know, doing more with my career or whatever the case that looks like, you know? So that is what I think my word is going to be. I don't know if you've thought any of yours, but I think that's going to be my word.
I need to do something easy. Like I'm tired of picking the hardest word. Like, you
Uh,
know what's sad is like I want to be like happy and like that's honestly harder. Like
I was going to say, because that's putting a lot of pressure on yourself.
I'm like I'll have to think about it and workshop it more. I do like the word invest. Like I think that's just like something to always keep in mind. Like there's no one that's going to advocate for you harder than yourself. So like investing in yourself is the number one thing you can do. So take it, run with it. I need to think. Maybe mine will be health. I don't know.
Maybe we could just switch.
We could just switch, see how it goes. I feel like, and that's, and we talk about this all the time, and everyone's like, boo hoo, woe is Kristen, she thrives on it. But I do have so much travel coming up. Like
It's just like travel.
my word literally needs to be to stay at home.
Yeah.
But like with how much travel I have coming up, I do think health is a good word because like when you travel that much, just like you're like I love a schedule. Like I like being gone a lot. I like traveling a lot. I like doing stuff. I like being with friends and family and whatnot. So like that's always good. But then I need to remember that like I cannot burn myself out on both ends of the candle. Like so maybe focusing on my health,
Yeah.
mental. physical will be good for me.
I think so. And guys, what are your guys's like, what do you guys want to do in the next year? I know that I used to be like such a planner that I would have like things planned out from like 5 to 10 years from now. And if myself saw where I was in 2020 and where I'm at now, like literally I want to laugh at myself because I'm like, I would have never put that on the bingo card that all of that happened.
Your bingo card was crazy.
Yeah, it was effed. No, like,
Your bingo card went through the shredder and a whole new one came out.
literally. Maybe our like phrase, maybe not even a word, just be like, let go and go with God or whatever. Because honestly,
It's like man plans, God laughs, like stuff like that. Like
yeah.
true.
That's why like I think the word thing is nice. And maybe if you have like 1 or 2 goals for the year, but like honestly, guys, we just gotta like live and do the best that we can. And I know we're all trying our hardest out there to like achieve at our jobs and be the best family member, or friend, or girlfriend, or wife, or husband, whatever you are. And I know we're all doing our best. So I hope that we just take that into next year and we're a little bit easier on ourselves.
Agreed. I think grace is a great word. Like
Oh,
giving yourself grace. Like I say that to my sister more than anyone. Like I'm really good at giving advice and not taking it.
yeah.
And I'm like, give yourself some grace. Like she's like, oh, I feel like I didn't have a good enough workout today because I was so busy. I'm like, give yourself some grace. That's okay. You got things accomplished in other areas of your life. If you went on a 30-minute walk, that's still moving your body. Give
Right.
yourself some grace. So like maybe that'll be my word.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, I'm not sure if you're taking anything from this episode this year or you're just listening to hear us, ramble on, but I feel like we all have these like crazy like thoughts that we're just thinking about like what's next in life, like the new year's coming, we all feel a little like anxiety because we want to just be the best person that we can, but we're all doing our best. And I hope that this episode made you guys feel at least not alone from two crazy girls telling you our experience.
You're not alone. That's one thing about us. We won't leave you high and dry.
No, you might actually feel better after this episode. You'd be like, wow, I am not Kristen and Megan.
I'm not as crazy as those girls. It's fine.
You know what?
We wear.
Inspiration, or we can just help you get through your day today. I have no idea, but either way, we're here for you.
I know. And as everyone, like we said, like wraps up the end of the year, just try to enjoy the next few weeks, even if you're, I'm sure the hospital's crazy around this time of year, but really take a step back and, look at what you have accomplished this year. I always have a really hard time I always look back and I'm like, what did I do? Like, what? But like taking a moment, like you ran a half marathon, Megan. I bet you already forgot about that.
I forgot about it. Actually, you saying that, I was like, that felt like 2 years ago.
Exactly. Like we sometimes forget, like that's why I've been trying to like be better about like documenting things. Like I don't want to be the person that's always like taking pictures on their phone, but like when something happens, I'm like, I want to remember this moment. And the only way to do that, unfortunately, is through that. So like thinking back to 3 things that you have accomplished this year, personally, professionally, and maybe just like, I don't know, something fun, a fun
Yeah.
one. To recap your year is always a good way to do it.
Yeah. Don't be too hard on yourself, guys. This is how we end it, just laughing. We're like, see ya.
And that's it. Mic drop.
Uh,
No.
I think we said all that we need to say this episode, guys. But we will see you in 2025. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, and
See you next year.
bye.